What's going on, boys? This is Captainoob, and this is the Rangemaster. This weapon comes from all the way of Fallout 2, and it's been processed with the new mesh textures, and it's nice and modular to support Fallout 4's weapon system. So, getting into these attachments here, we've got the receivers here. Advanced receiver also for automatic, which is actually kind of good, but we'll go ahead and chuck on the regular semi-auto advanced receiver. Now, it is worth mentioning this thing fires fucking slow, like really slow. You'll see what I mean later on, but yeah, we'll chuck on that standard receiver now. And that's semi-auto advanced receiver. Then we'll chuck on the long barrel for better range, too easy, and we'll go for a full stock there and get that sort of classic look of the Rangemaster, which I'll chuck up now on screen if I remember. Yeah, there it is. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Anyway, onto the magazines here. We'll go for the dual medium magazines there for better reload and better capacity, and for the sights we'll chuck on a scope on this bad boy. And for the muzzles, obviously we're going to chuck a suppressor on. Not only will that increase our damage, we'll get better stealth gameplay out of that, so we'll definitely do that. And for the ammunition type, we'll go for 308. You can put 7.62s on it from the Commonwealth DLC, which this thing requires, but it does the same damage as the 308, so it's fine. I've got a bunch more 308s, so I won't have to screw around with console commands to give me 7.62s. We're going to go no tape here because the tape looks stupid. And for legendary effect, you obviously get one, but we're not going to touch it unless we really need it. And at 250 damage, I don't think we should need such a thing. So we'll take this bad boy into Gunner's Plaza, see what it can do. Righto, so here we are in Gunner's Plaza. It is Winter's turn today, so we've got her. And looking at this thing in third person, you can see that, yeah, it's a pretty standard sort of size rifle. A little bit smaller than you'd get a hunting rifle to be, so you know what, that's fine. This thing, obviously, I said this before, uses... Wow, I missed him? No, that was just bad hitboxes. My aim is true. There we go. Yes, so there, as you can tell there, this thing uses the handmade rifle animations, which is good. Oh, you've got a flashlight. You're going to die, mister. And as you can tell, this thing doesn't fire fast. I'll go ahead and spam the hell out of this trigger, and you can tell, yeah, this thing's not the fastest firing weapon in the world, and also those fucking turrets are making me screen shake again. That's fine. I will just back away from them, and we'll try to make the most out of what shots we do have to maximize our damage with this, because unlike something like an assault rifle, which fires fast with its advanced receiver, we're not going to be able to spam as many bullets. Anyway, now we're in danger thanks to this gunner being more perceptive than anything, and we're having a little bit trouble finding the target here. I'm not sure what the hell is going on here, whether the bullets are actually coming out of the weapon too far below. I think the projectile node I should say, might actually be a bit lower than what the barrel shows, which is kind of weird. Or it might just be wildly inaccurate, which is a huge pain in the ass, because I like my weapon mods to be nice and consistent with what you have in the base game already. I'm alright with lots of recoil changes though. If a gun, it makes a weapon more fun to use when you have to control the recoil, but I do limit that to a second. Anyway, we'll go ahead and crit that gunner to death, and we still haven't been detected. No, we have been. And doing a crit without the sneak attack critical attached to it, you can see that we knacker most of their health, which is good. And we'll just try to shoot this gunner here. We're having a little bit of trouble finding our target here with the scope. Maybe our aim isn't as good as I think it is, but if I'm shooting at a gunner in the crosshairs like that, then I expect the gunner to die. I don't know what the modder has done to this weapon, but it seems to be very inconsistent on where you're actually placing the shots, which is kind of annoying. But we'll go ahead and take out this legendary gunner there. And now she is dead. We'll move on to the next one. And there with the sniper effect, we get a knockdown every so often when we kill things or shoot things, which is good. So that way we can sort of keep them vulnerable while we keep on shooting them. And if you've noticed, this thing only has a maximum capacity of 19. Yeah, you'd be right. That's what it gives me. And if you have like OCD or something that likes to be up at round numbers, this is probably driving you mad. And if you're one of those people that claims to have OCD but actually doesn't, you've probably commented about it already. So that assault rifle's dancing there. We'll just leave it there. I'll let you enjoy that little dance routine, and then we'll get stuck into that lieutenant there. So this thing is super quiet. Normally I get detected at this rate, but Maybe it's due to the rate of fire and not being able to just be detected because there's no noise coming from you for most of the time because you're firing that slowly. Or maybe Winter's just super sneaky today, I don't know. Anyway, we'll quickly deal with this gunner here. Down you go, mate. And we should be able to move on to the next one. You're a legendary gunner. You should go down just about as easily as the rest of them, so long as we don't get detected. Okay, I'm really scratching my head at the... I swear my aim is true. I don't know what the hell this thing's doing to throw off my aim. Alright, no stim packs. We're not cheapening this combat out, mate. We're fucking shooting you in the head. Twice even. There we go. So that's a little bit annoying when gunners pop a stim pack and then regenerate, but that's the nature of playing on very hard. You just seem to get really tanky enemies, and these guys are really just not taking the bullets. I don't see any impacts for the bullets sometimes. Maybe I'm just using dodgy 308s. I don't know, maybe a 2-century-old 308 round's probably not going to do you a lot of good, but that isn't consistent with the rest of the gun, so I'm not sure what's happening. And you know what, I'm going to be lazy here and just stealth crit that one. Down she goes, and her mate will probably come down here and try to figure out what it is, and I'm aiming directly at the chest, center mass. I'm still not hitting. Now, I've just noticed something. It's that sometimes there's a little bit of a sound right after I shoot, and for some reason, I think that is the gun actually glitching out to just not fire at all. Something just spawns in front of my face, and yeah, this low rate of fire is absolutely awful. And if you ever noticed, ever wanted to know how much the damage does for a ricochet, it does almost 1,000,000 damage. Notice the sound that's coming right after I shoot. It's like a stone. It's like a sound it'd make if a bullet hit maybe a bit of stone, like that. Every time that happens, I'm not shooting, and look how it took me like 10 bullets there to actually make this thing shoot on place. So maybe it's something to do with the scope, but I'm not really convinced that this thing is actually playable. But there you go, there you have it. That was a Rangemaster hunting rifle from Fallout 2 back into Fallout 4 on Gunner's Plaza, and paint me disappointed because bloody hell that was bad. Okay, so here we are just before we take on Swan. We've attached the automatic receiver onto this, and this is our fastest shoots, by the way. Okay, it's not going to shoot very fast, but what's worse about that is that even with this attachment and setup, I thought it was something to do with the scopes, our bullets aren't coming out properly. So I'm just going to shoot this, and notice how when I do shoot it properly, it comes up with a little bit of a spark, but that doesn't happen all the time. See, I'm missing a few shots there, so I'm missing out on damage output on an already low fire rate type weapon, so this thing is utterly broken. Okay, we'll test it on Swan otherwise, and hopefully Winter here won't get herself killed, but yeah, hopefully it won't happen. Okay, so there's Swan over there, and if you've noticed the roaring fans in the background, that is because it is like 40 degrees down here in Australia, and my computer's hot. So yeah, in order to get better frame rates and prevent the thing from overheating, I've just turned the fans on. I apologize for any annoyance that the sound makes. Now, we've established that this thing is broken, the fact that it won't even let me shoot projectiles half of the bloody time. Maybe not half of the bloody time, but more. You can even tell when I'm not hitting things just by the little bits of plumes of smoke that pop up with my weapon. And yeah, every time I'm not getting a hit on this dude, you can see that the damage isn't popping up or anything. Despite this though, we're doing quite a bit of damage on him, which is nice, and the automatic receiver seems to be holding up well. The only problem is that we're misfiring like 1/3 of the time there. I think I just wasted half of my mag shooting at nothing there, just because the bullets for some reason don't come out of the weapon, which is broken, and they should really fix that. Unless I've got a mod that conflicts with this, which I shouldn't have because I've got nothing that would ever sort of change where the bullets come from or anything, then yeah, this thing is broken and should be changed. Anyway, we'll move on to another monster and see if we can't kill them too. Okay, so this time we'll just go ahead and give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it is me glitching. It can't possibly screw up in third person, right? So we'll go into sneak mode here and just see how we do. No, it is. brilliant. Only like 5 of my bullets actually fired that time, which is good. But anyway, this thing is doing a very good amount of damage to this skittish ghoul, so despite the misfirings, we're actually killing him quite easily, which leads me to believe that the damage on this would be so much better if it wasn't so bloody glitchy. Anyway, we've almost got him killed. Down he goes after a couple of misfires there, and we'll finish off the rest of his ghoulish mates. And there you have it. That is one very dead ghoul. So despite being glitched and annoying to use, this thing is damaging enemies quite well, and it's pretty good actually. But can it outpace a DPS ghost rifle thingy? Let's find out. Come on, you better shoot it someday. Just gotta kill the synth replica. Oh, we're not going very well here. Alright, I think I managed to kill a Mirelurk in the back though. That was worth it. Okay. We're not hitting her most of the time because our bloody thing's not working. We'll get rid of that Mirelurk later on, actually. Yeah, you can just go ahead and stagger the synth there, and that'll be good. Oh. That went well. No, wait, I've got it. Maybe since Fallout 2's combat was strategy involved, and you have to sort of think about what you're doing rather than just running in guns blazing, maybe we have to do this with VATS instead. So, yeah, that looks a little bit better. We'll try that then. Wow, we're shooting actually incredibly fast in VATS, and it only took 2 bursts to take her out. Isn't that brilliant? And we get a nice level up there too, and wow, okay, we get a lot of XP for killing that. Yeah. So I think that's about enough for this weapon. Don't download this, but if you're really interested, wow, the things go crazy in water. Yeah, this is worth mentioning that the reflex sight on this weapon isn't actually a true reflex sight. As you can tell there, the reticule disappears whilst I'm looking at the sky, and it goes all wibbly when I'm looking at the ocean, but is completely, like, it stands completely still. But you can also see it in first person too when you don't have your weapon aimed. Grab your combat rifle and test this out. You can't actually see the dot unless you're aiming down sight. So yeah, this is a fake combat rifle sight or whatever. So that's interesting. And wow, why are we shooting that fast? We aren't. We're just glitched. I think I glitched it by using it in VATS. What have I done? Okay. This weapon is weird. Links will be in the description if you're interested, but I wouldn't recommend it. Thank you for watching, guys.